Hey everyone, welcome to Free on Friday. I see people are dropping into the room. So if you are here, please feel free to say hello in the chat window. Just tell us who you are and where you're from. I am Courtney Kirschbaum. I host Free on Friday, and we'll be starting right at noon, so right at the top of the hour. And if you are someone who is returning, welcome back. All the regulars, we have a lot of people who come back every week or many weeks in a row. So you are very welcome here and welcome back. All right, we are at 2 minutes and I'm going to roll our kickoff video and then we're going to get started. All right. Welcome to Free on Friday, everybody. Appreciate you being here today. Hit me up in the chat window and let me know that you can hear okay, and we are going to get started. All right, hopefully that'll kick it off. All right, so you guys know the rules here. If you've been here before, try to focus on right now, put the technical difficulties behind us, and let's just jump into the content. All right, awesome. Awesome. All right. So grab a pen and paper. You're really going to need it for this session because I'm covering a lot of content. Jot down your questions, your concerns, your actions, and your ideas. There are going to be some hardcore questions and you're going to wish you captured them. So if you don't have a pen or a pencil, whatever, grab one, grab your phone, open a notes app, whatever works for you. If you are here, you signed up today, maybe you're looking for a job right now, or you're going to be soon, you're not really thrilled about your current job, but you want your work to make a difference. You don't want to punch a time clock. So that's probably one of the reasons you're here. If you're a regular, that's definitely why you're here. You want financial independence. People are working longer hours and salaries are not going up, and we have to be more creative. Like, people are getting side hustles, and work is not what it used to be even 5 years ago. Things are changing dramatically. And finally, you want flexibility to make choices and choose in your career path. You don't want to feel like you're kind of enslaved to your job, and so many of us do. So those things are all probably true for you if you are here. And if they are, then you are absolutely in the right place. And I can tell you from my own experience that these things are possible for you and everyone. You can take control of your career. Most of us are not taught how. And I know this because that was me. This is a picture of me on a Saturday in a conference room working my butt off, thinking that all my dreams are going to come true. And I was in the same place about a year later. And I wanted to look for a new job, but I had no guarantee that I could find anything better than where I already was. I wasn't sure that I could move up. I wasn't sure that I could get another job and not end up in the same position, working tons of hours and not getting anywhere. So I want you to think about what career freedom would mean to you, because we're going to get into that today. We're going to show you how to look for it and where to find it. So think for a second about what would it mean to you to have some freedom in your career? Is it financial? Is it about benefits? Is it about the kind of work you're doing? Is it about having flexibility? And then I want you to imagine what it would feel like to wake up each day knowing that you're actually doing what you want to do, that you're not just working for the man and making a paycheck. Because again, that is the intent and focus of all my work. And I know you can do it because I've been on quote unquote the dark side and brought it over and figured out how to get to where I wanted to be and have the career and lifestyle that I wanted. And it's doable, but we're just not taught how to do it in college or in school. So it's kind of, we kind of feel trapped. So here is a reality check. I'm not offering shortcuts or secret formulas or magic potions. This does take work, but you're already working, right? You're here on a Friday, so you're already busting your butt. I'm sure of it. These are proven tactics. They will work if you work them. So you'll have to put some effort in, but I think you're already putting effort in, and this will help you make that effort a lot more efficient and see results from it. And the one thing I want to emphasize is you were probably never taught how to job hunt for you. And that is not your fault because it just isn't what we do in our culture. Now, when I say our culture, I live in the West, but it is not something that is commonly taught. So the paradigms are shifting and they're shifting fast. So keep in mind that this is, don't beat yourself up. You're here trying to improve your situation. You're trying to learn more, and you were never taught this to begin with, and that's not your fault. So somebody give me an update on where we are with the video in the chat window, because I'm hoping that you guys can see. We're going to start getting into stuff here, and there's definitely going to be some video I want you to see moving forward. Okay, so my goal is for you to have a well-managed career and be happy, to know your value and find your place, which is a big challenge in the workforce. It's like, how much, what should my salary be and where should I be working? These are big questions to gain financial power and not just be working and working and working and not going anywhere. And to realize your potential. So many job seekers I work with don't appreciate their own potential. They underestimate their potential. To give you control, to give you equal footing in the system, and to give you a champion. So that's how I roll, and that's what these Free on Fridays are all about. So I want to quickly go through some job hunt truths and then jump in to 5 ways to get that job that is right for you. And the first one is that if you're going on the job boards, they are stale and outdated. And this includes LinkedIn. I talk with a recruiter this week, and he goes, if I get a request, then I want to get 10 people. I put something out on LinkedIn, and I want 10 people to start. And I said, well, how long does it take you to get 10 people? He said, 2 days. I said, do you take the ad down once you got them? He says, no. So that is just one recruiter's perspective. You probably know this from your experience already, but the job boards are where everybody goes first, and they're so full of outdated and stale, adverts. You end up spending, wasting a lot of time. People spend 80% of their time on the job boards. They probably should be spending 20. And by people, I mean you. I'm going to teach you how to get away from that in this session today. If you are on the job board, so many people apply that the candidate who ultimately gets the position is overqualified. So if you're looking for a move up, going through the job board is one of the worst places to do it because they tend to hire people that have every single qualification. You should always apply anyway if you see an ideal job. But just remember, as a rule, that's the way it tends to roll. And finally, what I see a lot of job seekers doing is you try to say and do the right thing and be this ideal Stepford candidate. And what that does is it makes you invisible. So I'm going to try to find, help you find a path to be a little bit more original and creative. So this getting away from the job boards is a huge theme in today's presentation. And a lot of people are like, first of all, where do I go? And second of all, the job boards make it so easy, right? It's like a recipe. It's like, 2 eggs, cup of flour, cup of sugar, and on. And it's simple. And when you have to kind of find your own way, it gets difficult. So I'm going to help you find your own way, but I want to give you a little evidence as to why this is so powerful. And one of the reasons it's so powerful has to do with statistics. According to LinkedIn, 30% of companies fill a vacant role within 30 days, but 70% take anywhere from 1 to 4 months. So I want you to think about 1 to 4 months of man hours, of people working on getting a person in a position. That's a lot of man hours, and that's a lot of money. Society of Human Resource Management, SHRM, reports that it takes an average of 36 days to fill a position. And I think that's obviously very low because right above 1 to 4 months. So it's going to take a while. And that means the reason it takes a while is because people have to agree on a job description. They have to post the ad. They have to get 10 people that everybody agrees are, the right people. And then they got to schedule interviews and then they got to bring them in and on and on and on. And they lose people in the process. If it's a good candidate, the good candidate may get picked up by somebody else. So if you can get in before this starts happening, then it's going to save them a ton of money and a ton of time. And we all know that companies love to save money and they love to save time. And that's why the dark market works. And that's what I call it, the dark market. That is, these are the unpublished jobs you always hear it about. 80% of jobs go unpublished. And the reason I call it the dark market and don't focus on the unpublished part, because a lot of job seekers think, well, if it's unpublished, it must be, not be available, unpublished, unavailable. And that's not the truth. Here's a great metaphor that I came up to explain it to somebody this week. It's kind of like you have an old TV. TV works, fine. You're dealing with it. If you had the money or the time, you'd go get a flat screen. But you don't have the money and you don't have the time, you're just going to keep your old TV. And besides, it's one of those old tube TVs and you're going to have to pay somebody to recycle it. You can't just take it to the dump. So it's just a whole big, it's just a big pain. So you walk out of your house one day and your neighbor is moving and he's walking out and you're like, hey, what are you doing, Bill? He's like, oh, I'm taking all this stuff to the DAV. I'm just going to donate it. I'm so over this move prep. And he's got a big, gorgeous flat screen TV in his hands. And you're like, are you taking that to, the thrift store to donate? He's like, yeah, you want it? And you're like, yeah, I want it. Bam. You got a brand new, year-old flat screen TV because your neighbor just wanted to get rid of it, right? We've all seen these stuff on the curb for free. We've all gotten stuff for free because somebody's moving or cleaning out or whatever. It was a fit. He didn't want to sell it online. He really didn't want to have to haul it all the way to the donation store. So that's kind of what the dark market is like. You're getting what you want, what you've been praying for, wishing for, hoping for. And they are also saving a ton of time and a ton of misery. So think of the dark market like that as just a massive time saver. But you have to go and find the people who have the flat screen TVs. And that's what we're going to start talking about right now. So I want you to job hunt as if the job boards don't exist. Do this for at least 1 week. Start trying some new, just try some new things. And don't worry, because I'm going to show you how. So the first thing I want you to know is, and this is a little blurry, so I apologize. This is a triangle of how people fill positions. Now, you are probably at the top, recruiters and, advertisements, right? That's you. However, employers are down here. The first thing an employer does before they go into all the expense of posting an ad on LinkedIn or calling, recruiters, whoever they reach out to, is they ask around their office. Does anybody know anybody? Do we have anybody here that can do this position? Then they ask their team. Then they get that pushed out. Ask around. Ask people if you know anybody because it's easier and it's cheaper. It's walking out of your house with a flat screen TV and seeing somebody who wants it then and there. Done. Your problem is solved. Often people will go to professional organizations. I used to work for a professional organization, so I know this. The firms would always call us looking for the top candidates because they know that the top candidates are going to be the ones who are taking initiative and going to places like professional organizations. But here's you on this side, starting here where so much of the good positions have already been winnowed out. So what you want to do is get down here. Now, most people say networking and then everybody zones out because networking is a pain, but it's not a pain when you know what to do and also have some other ideas. So I'm just not going to say you guys need to be networking more because I'm sure you're all tired of hearing that if you've been job hunting for even 5 seconds. But you do want to get down here in this area because it will make your life so much easier. So here is one way to do that. I want to introduce you to Chelsea. Now, we have all seen job seeker posts on LinkedIn. Some of us have seen videos. Some of them are unfortunate. I think doing a speaking to the camera video can be a good idea, but for most people it's not. And I've said that before in these webinars. But there are creative things you can do. And I want to show you a video done by a young woman named Chelsea. She is not enrolled in Job Hunt School. She did this brilliant video. I believe it was 2 years ago. So I'm going to switch over to video. This might take a second, and please let's not have more technical difficulties, but just give this video a watch. It's only 1 minute. Okay, was everybody able to see that? Did that come through, hopefully, for everyone? Hit me up in the chat window and just let me know, because on this side, it's hard to... Okay, so it looks like some of you it disconnected. All right, I'll walk you through the slides. Sorry for those of you who got disconnected. I know it's always a little risky when I go to video. So what this was a video that was done with the whiteboards, kind of like a whiteboard animation, and I'm going to show you all of it in just a second. But it was 1 minute. And it was just a few slides where this person introduced themselves. So it's a little bit more exciting than, just a text. Some of you may have seen some people put out little adverts for themselves, and they do sometimes work. It helps if you're a really good writer. But this is just an example of somebody who got really creative in how they promoted themselves. Carol, I am going to send this out. FYI, I'm going to send this video out so you can all see it. But this is a great example of, getting creative. Now, I get that you all aren't artists. This person is obviously very talented, but this is just about novelty, newness, and creativity, and thinking outside the box. She immediately got hired by a huge consulting firm, Accenture. Some of you may have heard of it. But this is what she did right in this video. It's positive and it's personal. For those of you who saw it, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's in the video for those of you who didn't. She talks about her love of art and her love of dumplings, right? She made it personal. It's well executed. This is a 1 minute video. I'm sure it took her at least a day to complete. There was music in the background. So when you're job hunting, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? It's why everybody harps on not having typos in your resume. So it was well executed. This is one of the most important aspects. It was short and to the point, and the copy was spot on. One of the biggest problems I see with job seekers is things are just too wordy. It takes them so long to get to the point. Another thing this had is sky high CPM, and I'm going to talk about CPM and how you can get it. And I'll absolutely send this to you. So she put this out there, and then this is what her profile looks like. So it's very polished, clean and simple. Obviously, it didn't say, designer at Accenture then, because she didn't get the job. But she's got a really good profile picture. She's making eye contact and she's smiling, something I emphasize over and over and over again. So if you're going to do something like this, make sure your profile is right and tight, right? Make sure that you are ready to go. So number 3, let's talk about dialing up your CPM as high as you possibly can. So CPM is confidence, passion, and motivation. And if you get these dialed up, everything else will fall into place. So I want to walk you through some questions that will help you do this. The first question is, what are your top 3 values? This is going to stump some of you because we don't typically go through our day talking about our values. We go through our day living our values. So this is going to require some thought. Next, when and where were you happiest working? So this is some of the deep work that if you do before you start your job hunt, or if you're stalled in your job hunt, it'll open some doors and windows and let the light in. Who have you helped in the past? Think about happy clients, happy customers. Who have you helped in the past? And also don't think about just their happiness, but think about your happiness. Who were you happy helping? Where are you now? In the video, she mentions where she is now. She's a recent graduate. Who do you want to help next? Do you want to work in corporate, for a nonprofit, for a certain type of team or industry? Where do you see yourself? What are their top 3 values, right? Because if you're somewhere where you're not aligned with the values, you're going to be one seriously unhappy camper. If you've ever been there, you know what I'm talking about. Who do you want to work with? Artists, scientists, politicians, cowboys, helpers, healers, creators, destroyers. Think about who you want to work with. It'll help you target your ad. You want to write a clear pitch. And if you answered those questions, you just did. These are really, if you answer these questions, then you can pull these out and compose a really nice, concise pitch. And by nice and concise, this is what I mean. She used 9 slides. So that's 9 frames, 78 words. That's 78. It might be 79 because I was counting kind of a hurry, but So I just want you to just look at this, especially those of you who missed the video. And again, I apologize for technical challenges. She introduces herself. She says what she is. I'm a passionate, creative engineer. So passionate and creative could be considered, values or characteristics. So that's why I asked her at the top, what are 3 values that you have? You can also use what are 3 words that people use to describe you. She talks about what she loves. She's not afraid to be personal. Dumplings, right? Where she is now, she's a graduate of General Assembly. She talks about, what she does, where she wants to go. She's looking to join. She used 2 descriptors, a creative and collaborative team. And then she talks about her values. She wants to use the power of design to create solutions people love. Anytime you can use the word love without making it sound cheesy is pretty good. And then she puts her email. Actually, I'm sorry, I got these out of order. She puts, if you're interested in working together, I'd love to hear from you. And then she puts her email, 78 words, 9 slides. That's how easily it could be done. Use the questions I just gave you to get started. It will really empower you. She brought a ton of CPM. That's confidence, passion, and motivation. These are words that typically people don't talk about in a job hunt. This is a job hunt school scholar, Sheila, and she just did an exercise that we have in job hunt school to help you raise your confidence, your passion, and your motivation. And this is trickier than you think. So this is what she says. By doing the values audit and CPM chart, I realized that one of the key positions I've been considering would allow some of my values to shine, but not others. I also realized that it's not enough for me to work at a company. I want to work at a company that is socially responsible. I think that these concerns have been floating around in my subconscious, but doing these worksheets brought them to the forefront. Thanks, Courtney, for helping me to be my true self. When you raise your CPM, you can't do that without being your authentic self. They just will not move unless you're doing the things that you're confident in, that you have a passion for, and that gives you motivation. So it's really important to do that. It enables you to do creative, different, fun things, whether it's a whiteboard or something you come up with yourself that's appropriate to your industry. How you get to that space is by raising your CPM. Okay. You have to stop saying there are no jobs like that. Sometimes I'll talk to people, they're very frustrated, and I try to get them to, raise their CPM and talk about what they really want to do. And they're like, there are no jobs like that. And I'm like, stop saying that, because you don't know. You really don't know. Most people just assume that's true. And for them, there are no jobs like that because they're not going to go out and try to find them. So there are. So banish the failure speak from your language. It is not serving you. And this is someone who found a job, a miracle job that she loved. She said, I just finished reviewing contact on Job Hunt School. And that's a section where we talk about job hunting on the dark market. I realized I've been doing this process all wrong, which explains my years of frustration. I decided to go straight to the source of the job I wanted, i.e. not through the job boards. The person actually conversed with me and encouraged me to submit an application. These insights are amazing. This is Destiny Sims. She's a Job Hunt School scholar. She graduated. She got an awesome job. I interviewed her, and that interview, don't go there now, but that interview is on jobhuntschool.com. And it is just an incredible story. And I think it will inspire you. It truly will. And here's something else that I think will inspire you. There's an organization in Richmond, Virginia, which is where I went to college and where I had my first job at a trade association. And the organization is called Art 180. You'll find it at art180.org. And it's actually founded by my first boss when I graduated college. This woman was my boss, and it was a trade association for an accounting association, the Virginia Society of CPAs. So, not real arty, as you can imagine. And it was a very, very straight up and down, stitched up job. And we published things for accountants. So her passion was art. And at 40, she left that job where she had attained the position of director. So no small feat. She was well respected and well liked, but she wanted to follow her passion, which is art. And she did. And she founded this organization for Art 180. And that was 20 years ago. And it is now well established. I encourage you to go to the site and look at the pictures. And she created something that didn't exist before. And now she teaches art to children, and she hires artists and teachers to deliver art to young people to help change their lives. So she's touched the lives of thousands of people. And I apologize. I tried to upload some pictures and I couldn't get them to upload. But the point I want to make with her story is this. If you can't find what you want to do, you may find that you can create it. And you absolutely will find things that you didn't expect to see if you believe in what you want to do enough to just look and take the step, which is what she did. It's how she founded this organization, which has been in existence, helping children spend time doing art and introducing them to art when they are in school systems, which might, probably doesn't have the funding to offer these classes. So you think, well, you may think, well, she's not really changing the world. Well, she's absolutely changing the world of the students that her organization comes in contact with. So you'd be surprised what is possible. And she was 40 when she started that. And this happened because she just kind of decided she wanted to do something different, something that reflected her values and her passion, and it motivated her. And that's been there for 20 years now. And when you get a chance, if you want to check out Art 180, it's a really cool organization. So start researching people and places. If you're not going to be going to the job boards, you got to go somewhere. So professional associations. I worked at one. People came to us trying to find good candidates for positions, and good candidates came to us to find positions because they knew that's where there was a lot of intersection. Events, conferences, training, even virtual events like this one. People meet on Free on Friday all the time. Think about vendors and customers. So don't just think about the entity where you might want to work. Think about their vendors and customers, right? Because if you're going toward what you're interested in, my former boss, her name is Marlene, she wasn't going to be an artist and she knew that, but she wanted to be surrounded by art and artists. So she created an organization that would allow her to be there and to be surrounded by art and artists and share her passion for that. So you may not be an artist either. You may be around the thing that you love. So think about vendors and customers and other people in the world that interest you. And obviously current employees and former employees. And do some research. Research is so important. This is a new tool I just discovered. It's Talkwalker Alerts. If you've been with me on previous webinars, you know that I say you should set up alerts to search on things you're interested in, or rather get the internet to work for you. I used to recommend Google Alerts, which are fine, but Talkwalker is even better. I've been using it for a few weeks now. The connection is right here. You will get better at keywording your alerts, but if you put some alerts out there, things will just be delivered to your inbox, and suddenly your job hunt is easier and you're away from the job boards and the crush of everyone trying to get the same job you are, which is really just a job description written for somebody else's goals instead of directing you necessarily toward your goals. So when you make these contacts, I just want to give you some questions to ask, because we're often not comfortable reaching out to complete strangers and talking. So if you're going to do that, you want to make every one count. So always ask somebody that you talk to, is there anyone else I should talk to? Can you recommend a group, a course, a book, or a magazine that I should read to learn more? You'll get tons of good resources, and you don't have to go searching the internet or searching LinkedIn to find them. Get them from the person that you're talking to. Also ask them, who do you suggest following? What are some of the top industry conferences or events? Go to those websites. There will be a ton of other people you can connect with, and always ask, is there anything I can do for you? It's easy to get into, oh my God, please help me mode when you're looking for a job. You may be under time and money pressure. Is there anything I can do for you? People really appreciate this. It's really classy, and there may be something you can do for them. So remember, reciprocity. Always, 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 if you reach out to someone that is recommended, say, so-and-so recommended you. Always helps develop trust. It just makes the whole conversation easier, kind of explains, hey, this is why I'm here, because so-and-so recommended you. And that's that just makes it a lot easier when you're starting conversations with a stranger. I find it can be slightly awkward. Okay, so that is a ton. Congratulations, you made it through all 5, and I'm going to cover the 5 right now because I went through them super fast today because of our technical challenges at the beginning of today's event. Okay, to find a job that fits, get away from those job boards. Goodbye, job boards. Be novel, original, innovate, and create. And you may not be an artist. but try to do something that is a little bit more refreshing. If you want to be creative, if you want to get that side of your brain working, don't be afraid to. By the way, I'll send you the link to that, the actual LinkedIn message that she posted it in, and she posted a follow-up. Her message got 10,000 views, and I think I want to say 600 comments. I'll share with you in the follow-up email, but so you can see the whole thing, kind of soup to nuts, how she did it. Raise your CPM, your confidence, passion, and motivation. You really need to know what they are. Lose the limiting language. There are no jobs like that. You don't know that. And if you say that, it'll be true for you. And so often it isn't true. I've seen miracles happen when people just step out of the box and do some different things. And like my old boss, Marlene, follow your instincts and do some research on the things that interest you. You have no idea the little gems that you will unearth when you do that. So take a minute and tell me, you can put it in the chat window if you don't mind, what is something that you learned today in this session? Just one thing that was kind of like maybe a high watermark, something you learned. Type it in the chat window. Something that you got from this, something that made you think, that's interesting. Never thought of that, never heard of that, anything at all. Hopefully the chat window is working better than the video window. All right, I will wait for those to come through. No, you shouldn't take a cut in pay. Value of the dark market. It is major value. Dialing up your CPM. Amen. Yeah, I know. When you are desperate, it's hard not to look desperate. Absolutely, Eric. I feel your pain. I have been there. So whatever your thing is today, you're here for an hour. What will you do with what you learned? Because if you don't take action from this, if you don't, make a material change, then this value, the value of this hour will not be as high as it could be. So take what you learned and do something with it. Action is so important. It's great to learn things. It's great to be entertained. And boy, I sure hope that this was slightly entertaining, but take action, commit to taking an action from something that you learned today. If you're going to be successful in today's job market, you've got to have courage and honesty, respect, resilience, and determination are key. Integrity, inspiration. I mean, we sanitize things and everything's so politically correct these days, but we need to be inspired and have vision to be successful. That CPM is so important. And I know as a job seeker, you feel vulnerable sometimes, and believe it or not, that is a necessary part of job seeking. Because if you're going to go through all this, pain and vulnerability and the pain that is associated with vulnerability, don't you want to get what you want at the other end of it? And persistence. If you persist, if you don't quit and you keep your standards high, you will succeed. So hopefully you can see the value in having the knowledge to go your own way, away from the job boards, away from the crush, away from the coulds and shoulds, and manage your career for you. That is what this is all about. That is what Job Hunt School is about. And if any of this resonated with you, if you feel blocked, if you're like, I need help getting this done. If you want more information, believe me, I could talk about this all day long. That is what I do. That is what Job Hunt School is. It's meant to be a one-of-a-kind experience to help you do just what I talk about in this webinar. And the people that have gone through it have experienced that. It's about finding your right career path, finding your right job, and having a happier, more profitable career. That is why I do the work that I do. And if you go inside Job Hunt School, this is what it looks like. And what you get from the program is understanding how to frame up your job hunt and how to manage your career. It's not just about one job hunt. It's about how to set yourself up and plan your job hunt. So it's driving your career and your vision forward and raising your confidence, your passion, and your motivation. So you know how to do everything that you need to do to be successful and not feel like you're finding your way through the dark or going where everybody else is going. So if you want a career that you're in control of and that's going to get you the results that you want, Job Hunt School is designed to deliver that, not just for one job hunt, but throughout your entire career and future job hunts. And if you have any doubts about that, I want to introduce you to some of the people who've taken this program. This is Mark Windorf. Mark became a good friend of mine when he was in Job Hunt School, and he says, I can't say enough about Job Hunt School and what a difference it made. From someone who's been in the corporate world for 35 years, Job Hunt School is the only place where I was able to find the material that made a difference. Again, this is Destiny Sims, and her story is incredible. I suddenly got laid off when my company cut all contract employees. I have 5 children. I'm the only source of income. I will never forget the day Destiny's email came into me. Destiny got her dream job in March of this year, and she negotiated a 35% salary increase with what she learned in the negotiation training in Job Hunt School. And she is an awesome woman. Follow her on LinkedIn. She's incredible. And her interview is really cool as well. Thank you so much, Destiny. This is Marisa Lafata, and she lives in Virginia. Dana, passion. I got the job. I have to say it was because of you. I was so scared to try because of fear of rejection. Can you relate? Like fear of rejection. We all do this. But your program gave me the confidence to put myself out there. You're just a different person when you feel confident. And this is Roshni Mohan, and she's down in Australia. I think she's in Singapore now, but whatever. She says, your webinar changed my entire outlook on job hunting. I wanted to tell you that I got the job by emailing my resume, not by applying through a job portal. I was called the very next day for an interview, and I got the job. I will say this, you can apply because they'll probably tell you to apply anyway, but always email your resume right to HR, right? Because you want them to think you're a go-getter, because you are. I mean, you're here. If you weren't a go-getter, you wouldn't be here. Another, I got the job. This is from Marissa Maitland. She's up in New Hampshire. She is an awesome woman. She says of Job Hunt School and her experience with us, I can't tell you how valuable this is. I feel like I stumbled upon the world's greatest gem. She is actually one of the reasons that Job Hunt School even exists. She's like our first customer. She, again, is also awesome. So I want to walk you through what these people experienced in Job Hunt School that made them say that. And it is in 5 modules. And the first module is the know module. This is where you know your value and you find your place. And if you think about work and what's difficult about work, it's not knowing your value and not being in the right place, like being with your people, right? So you want to match your passion and your purpose and your values to your lifestyle and career. Otherwise, it's round peg and square hole, and that feels uncomfortable. I mean, nobody wants that. When you raise your CPM, you can get your best possible salary and benefits because you have more power. Knowledge is power. And that is with the know section. In the know section, we start with helping you set that right salary so you can negotiate for it with confidence. Module 2 is about making contact, right? The dark market. This is where you learn how to get magnetic profiles that invite opportunity into you. You can get big results with just small changes. Like you don't have to do this massive overhaul. Most of the resumes and profiles I look at are actually just need a little tweak here and there. Also know where your ideal job is hiding and find it. And we teach you how to do that in great detail in this module, the contact module, and we talk about the dark market. So we go much deeper into what we talked about today. This is how you learn to get responses and respect and get away from the ATS and whole broken HR and hiring system. One of the things you get as an advanced training in Job Hunt School is LinkedIn Boost. One of the most important things in your job hunt is your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn Boost was a popular separate program, and I folded it into Job Hunt School, and it is still one of the most popular offerings. This program will get you absolutely flying on LinkedIn. And here's some people who used it. This is John McCaskill. He said, your class has absolutely launched my LinkedIn into the stratosphere. Should follow him. He has a great feed. Another person, Alagu Mariappan, he is an international consultant. He came to me because his profile was getting no activity and he wanted to get a job. I helped him rewrite his summary. He says so far, 4 managing directors contacted me about how I can help their company and how we can work together. Another Job Hunt School scholar loved the course, Courtney. All the information was super helpful and gave me a better mindset to be in while focusing what my goal on being on LinkedIn is. Really knowing your goal on LinkedIn is one of the first things you need to figure out. But this program, this advanced training that comes with Job Hunt School, walks you through all of that. You also get the confidence challenge, right? Because you want to raise your confidence. Easier said than done. This challenge is a blast. 2 people signed up for it yesterday. It's totally free. It's with the course. Once you're in it, you are guided step by step through a series of things that you do to raise your confidence. Super, super popular. This is what somebody said about going through the confidence challenge. Hi, Courtney. I think the main thing the confidence challenge did for me was give me momentum. I had something literal to do every week so that I kept moving in the right direction. It made me feel like I was working toward my goal. I think it also boosted my confidence and helped me to be bold. So this really does work. All right, the third module is to compose, and let's get right down to it. You don't want to sweat over your cover letter. You don't want to sweat over your resume. So this is where you learn how to write the easiest cover letter ever, easiest resume writing ever, and how to copywrite well for your career. When you go through this training, I promise you people are going to start copying your resume instead of you copying theirs. You're going to get an editing trick. This is Caitlin Lemon. She's a scholar. This is what she said, and she's a copywriter. I just wrote my first 3 cover letters since seeing this video. It was so much less agonizing. I used to hate writing cover letters, and I'm someone who really loves to write. I just wrote my first one for my dream organization. She watched the video tutorial on cover letter writing, and this was her response. It absolutely is so much easier when you know how. You're also going to get a copywriting method that you're going to use for the rest of your life, I promise you. And it will make every edit so much easier, like when you have to go back and update your resume. Plus, you'll be able to come into the scholar sessions and I can review your resume for you. But you do not want to be paying $1,000 to watch people, to have somebody update your resume every single time you job hunt. It's just not feasible. The Connect module, this is where you learn how to make employers want you, where you feel amazing about yourself and hone your offering so you know what your pitch is, like we did today with those questions, and you have the confidence to show up as you. This is also where you get prep for your interview. We have an interview like a boss, MP3. So there are interview questions and then 2 minutes of empty time for you to practice your answers, because that is one of the most difficult things to do in an interview, is know when to stop talking. So this is one of our scholars. She got a job in March as well. She had just joined a few days ago. She says, I highly recommend utilizing the unforgettable interview tool in the Connect section of the class. I used it to prepare for my phone interview today. It truly helped me structure my pitch, as well as helping me discuss all my important strengths relevant to the job and provide examples to substantiate them. Thank you, Courtney. That's what you need to do, and you need to do it in a methodical way. And Job Hunt School helps you do that so you don't feel like you're saying the wrong thing, or you're saying it in the wrong way, or you left something out. And finally, the moneymaker of all moneymakers, the close module. This is where you learn to protect yourself negotiating, how to accept an offer, how to recognize an offer, how to handle the choices you need to make when things get tense, and they always do when the offer's on the table. This is where you learn how to talk about money, what to say, what not to say, and to do this with tact in class. And if you're thinking to yourself, no, I can't do it, I'll always be nervous about that, you're absolutely wrong. Negotiating and talking about money is hard because no one ever taught you how to do it. It is 100% learnable. This also is a place where you learn to protect yourself from the new contract clauses and restrictive clauses that are going in employment contracts all the time. And if you sign them as is, they can be very restrictive and cause you a lot of pain. And this is what one Job Hunt School scholar said after watching the video in this section. This is Ashley. She lives in France. She is awesome. She says, oh my gosh, Courtney, this module was amazing. Every time I get through a video and I think it's the best one yet, there is an even better one. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ashley. There's so much here that I never even considered when signing the contract for my last job. Over the last couple of years, I've had to work my behind off in order to catch up because I missed the opportunity in the first place. Thanks to this video, I am now armed with a sword and shield, ready to put up a good fight in my next job acceptance. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. This is why I do this, because I don't want you to get taken advantage of, and people get taken advantage of all the time because they're never taught how to handle this. So if you don't learn this here, please get it somewhere, because I just don't want you to be where she was, which is working your behind off to play catch up when you should have gotten it right in the door, and you could have. So those are the 5 modules that make up the main program. They are a $3,000 value, and I promise you that is a low estimate. Those are the modules in Job Hunt School. There are advanced trainings. The negotiation series is what Destiny used to get a 35% pay increase. That is a video training series that is short and to the point. You also get a resign right, because if you're working now, you need to know how to resign this job when you get a new job. You want to do that with tact in class, and you want to know the questions to ask, the information that you want to get, if you have to sign some of the exit papers they might put in front of you, how to handle health insurance, how to handle vacation payouts, all of that is in here. Scholar sessions. These are awesome. You get 4 scholar sessions with me. These are live events, just like the webinar, except they're interactive and we get to talk with each other. This is where I give you weekly challenges to kind of get you into the content. And I also invite you to submit your profile, your resume, your cover letter, so I can review it for you and help you with that. So you're not alone. You're not, sitting at your desk trying to sort this out by yourself. And you can drop into scholar sessions anytime. You get 4, you'll get invited to your first series, which is 4 sessions, as soon as you enroll, which I hope you're doing right now. And then you can come back anytime you need to drop in if you job hunt in the future. Mindset meditations are something that we do in the scholar sessions. You can do them on your own, but I take you through them in our sessions. These are 3 meditations: life purpose, clear purpose, and the let it go. I call it the junkyard meditation, which help you get your head right for a job hunt, right? Because it's all in our head. Confidence, passion, motivation, these are in our head. And these are meditations. They're short guided meditations that help you get in that right mindset. It's not something we talk about resumes and cover letters and all this very tangible stuff, but a lot of what's going on about a job hunt is intangible. And this helps you dial that in. All of this is downloadable and portable. You can download it, listen to it when you're running, at the gym, in your car on the way to work, on your lunch hour. We have a common room community where you can ask questions, engage with me, engage with other scholars. This is one of the most fun things in the program. It is hopping all the time with people talking about how their confidence challenge is going. We're running 2 games beginning in August and in September. We're doing a LinkedIn game to help you amp up your LinkedIn game. And we're also doing an abundance, a money game, which is also a lot of fun. So we try to make this fun because job hunting, and let's face it, we're spending a third of our life at work. Why not have a little fun? And also, you don't want this to be a slog. So I want you to have fun while you're learning this stuff. So we have 2 games coming up, one in August and one in September. And of course, I'm here to support you. If you talk to anyone who takes this course, they'll tell you that as soon as they drop a comment or a question in the comment section, bam, I'm right there. I'm a little bit slower to respond on Facebook, but if you have a question, I will be there for you, or a member of our team here will be there for you. But we are crazy responsive, so you will not be going through this alone. This is what one scholar had to say: I love the feedback and support from you and the others in the group. I felt like I had a tribe of cheerleaders and wasn't as alone in the process. And the fact is, you don't want to be alone when you're job hunting, because that is when your confidence comes down, right? That voice in your head takes over and starts saying things that should not be saying. So I want to do a quick recap of everything I just covered, really quick. You get the 5 core modules of Job Hunt School training, $3,000 value, the 6 advanced bonus trainings, including the negotiation training. That is a $549 value. You get over 20 resources, templates before and after, resume swipe files, contract samples, and you get live coaching in the scholar sessions, which is absolutely priceless. And you can pick those up anytime. Job Hunt School is always going to be there for you. Our common room community, and you get all updates and new content forever. The total value of the program is $3,943. And Brad Dons says it better than I ever could. Brad is one of our scholars. He is an amazing guy, and he just summed it up perfectly. He said, How many times have you just wished someone would tell you plainly how to get where you want to go in your career? Courtney Kirschbaum, founder of Job Hunt School, does. These are the resources you've been looking for to help with your search. And they really are. I mean, this just makes me feel great because it's what I wanted to build when I set out to create this program. But you are not going to pay anywhere near $4,000 for it. I hope you will join Job Hunt School. If it is the right thing for you, you can get it on a flexible program of $99.97 today. As soon as you pay, you get the entire program. The best value is our $499 pricing. Again, if you click the button, I'm going to set up an offer right here for you so you can see it. You can click right to it. You will get the entire program today. Your scholar sessions, if you join today, scholar sessions we kick off in August. If you click on this offer, you will be taken to this page. It's so easy. In less than 60 seconds, you can fill this out and you will get an email with your login information and a welcome letter with some details. Easy stuff. This is what you will see when you log in, and you can start with the Welcome to Job Hunt School section today. And one of the first things you're going to do is the CPM, which is getting that confidence, passion, and motivation rocking. And there are two other things that I want you to know. You're a Job Hunt School scholar for life. So for the rest of your career, you will be able to come to Job Hunt School whenever you need help with your job hunt, your career, your resume, your cover letter, asking for a pay raise. If you're getting ready to resign and you want to refresh on any of it, it's there for you. There is also 100% risk-free guarantee. If you're job hunting right now, spending money may not be what you had in mind. Our risk-free guarantee gives you 30 days to check out the program. If it is not a fit for you, and we do everything we can to make sure that it is before you enroll, but if it's not, all you need to do is email us the materials you completed, and we will say sayonara and best of luck to you, because I want people in the program who want to be here and feel it's the right thing for them. So no risk to you. You are safe here. If it doesn't work out, just let us know. If you're wondering if this will work for you, if you don't have a lot of free time, everything is portable and downloadable, and it's self-paced. If you're not ready to pick up the scholar sessions now, you can pick them up later. So it's very flexible. So if you are crunched for time, you can fit this in. If you're recently graduated, it is perfect. I would have given anything to have had this when I graduated. If you're graduating soon, we have a student discount. So check that out on the Job Hunt School page. If you're still in school, this is absolutely a wonderful graduation present for yourself. If you're not sure what you want to do in your career, the No section especially will help you kind of unpack that. So this is an option for you if you're just not even sure what kind of job you want to apply for. If you're an experienced professional, I think Mark Windorf made it clear after 35 years, he found value in Job Hunt School. And if you happen to be transitioning from the armed forces, I know that can be really stressful because you're like, okay, one world to another world, and they're very different worlds, and the expectations are different. So this is a great way to kind of get yourself familiar with what you need to do for civilian life. So it does work if you are transitioning from the armed forces. If this is right for you and your career, I invite you to enroll in Job Hunt School today. As soon as you do, you will get access to the entire program, whether you choose our all at once or our more flexible payment plan. You get non-expiring access to the program, you'll get invited to your first series of scholar sessions, and you can begin taking the first step to get the career and the job that you want. Whatever you decide to do, thanks for being here today. Please post questions below if you have them, and I look forward to seeing you in another Free on Friday soon. Take care.